So after the frustrating day yesterday, which is where a 20 amp breaker in the breaker box is weak, so I replaced it with a 30. Well, I didn't, Scott did. I don't mess with electrical like that. Plasma works good now. We couldn't go 15 inches and it was out. So the rest of the floor, gone. And right now what we're working on is up here getting the wiper arms and everything to meet at the right angle, and we are going to use a newer model electric motor for it. I'm not going to say which because it's a little trade secret we're going to keep there. These things are kind of notoriously hard to hook up, so that's all done, cleaned up a little bit. It's getting close to the end of the day, and we'll be back at it again tomorrow, but it's going. It's going. So today I am going to try and get the cab onto the body, the body onto the floor and firewall. I keep saying cab, but anyway. I'm going to do a little bit of measuring, find the center point of this, going to find the center point of that, and I am going to try to see how much extra meat we got on the floor right now. Front to back, really can't do it. It's just set it on, cut it off. I do need to put the body mounts on the back side of the floor. We drill straight through, use the old mounts, put them on, bolt, nut, done. Let's see here. That's like an all-day thing today. But unfortunately, I will tell you, B-roll camera will not be going on today because I only got 8 minutes left. I didn't realize it happens. So, not going to see much of that, but you'll probably see some of it tomorrow. Let's get at it. So, yesterday I got the cab loosely sitting on there. It's going on pretty easy. It's falling kind of into place. Now, I said that it'll be nothing but problems. But today I need to make sure that it's left and right and in the center. And the reason I have to do that, because if you weld to one side, you'll have a tire sticking out here and a tire real deep over on that side. But figure that out, figure out the back, then I can finish cutting my firewall to match the old firewall. And at that point, once I have them matched up and it's all the way down, I can start welding the floors together. Which, this one, it looks like it has to go down about another inch or so, but it's looking like these are gonna hit here. Not over there so much, but over here, yes. So, got a lot of figuring out to do, and make it sit right. Every one of them is a little bit different than the last, though we did just build one of these, what was it? It was at the end of last year. We built one, but we only used the firewall and we used the factory floor because it's the way the guy wanted it. This one we have to use, or well, we want to use the Dakota floor and firewall and everything. It makes it easier on us and makes everything fit a little bit better. So yeah, down, probably a lot forward, and it should be ready to start welding up. So I'm gonna attack it. So today I'm going to find out how square I am, and then if I'm all good and square, I can start setting up the floor pan, well, the rest of the floorboard, welding it in. Start working on the firewall, the back portion, and basically have it to where the cab will be mounted. Once the cab is completely welded in, it's breeze town from there. Then we just put the front end back on, put a radiator in it, make sure it all works, AC works, put it back in there. And from that point, it's starting on the interior. We got to get the gauge cut out, set up. We got to cut the frame, It starts going pretty fast after the cab's welded into place. And you can see in there, there's a lot of welding. Let me show you here. Lots of welding to do. That is my foot. Yes, there's a lot of welding to do back in the floor. Man, my hair gets jacked up on the way here. But other than that, it's pretty much simple. This is the majority of your work doing a body swap, is getting the cab square. If you don't get the cab square, it's garbage, because it'll look funny going down the road. You'll put the bed on, it'll look like it's kinked in the middle. I mean, everything starts from getting this cab square. And that's where we're at. So, let's figure it out. Alright, so now I had the cab way screwed up. I mean, it was in a super bind. This door would not close good. It was springing down. But it wasn't exactly all my fault, because where the floors and stuff in this were so rotted and like all the supports were gone, when we cut it free, the cab just sort of, flapped in the wind. So what we had to do is we actually had to get it basically in square, figure out where it was. And as you can see right now, I got this ratchet strap pulling the front firewall forward, because when it was back, the door wouldn't shut. That's how far out of square it got. We are now at the point where we're starting to weld up the floors. In fact, we are actually probably about halfway through welding the floors. It goes real quick once you have everything square. What we do is what I refer to as beat and weld. Is that what? Oh, hammer welding. Hammer welding, that's what it is. And that's where you tack your steel in a certain spot. Anywhere you can get it flat, you get it flat and welded. But where you can't get it flat, in these humped areas and stuff over in here, what you do is you weld it till it's not flat, and you hammer it until it is. And you do it while it's still hot. And it bends easy and molds. Then you weld it, hammer it in again, weld it some more. More difficult stuff, like where I had the cab mounts, you have to make like certain crazy pieces to go in there, but it's no big deal. We're gonna finish making those today. We're probably gonna have this floor almost done welded today. We'll let the cab loose, jack it up, let it off the jack stands, and at that point we should be ready to start fitting on the front end. But yeah, this is the floors and stuff on here, all the floor supports were gone. And that's when I cut it out. Actually, I can show you. Usually when I cut them out, you see this support right here. That's the floor, like, side jams. It's all in this area right here. Like all in the door open. This is the passenger side one. But I cut the floor out. It fell out. It was toast. So no biggie. I mean, once we weld it to the new floor, you'll never have to worry about it again. Yeah, so I'm going to jump at this, try to get this done. I'm going to try and fold the hump down and make a little filler piece just so it looks better, because I don't want like a wall there. And after that, we have big gaps over in here we got to fill. That's the hardest stuff, really, is just making that look good, flat pieces. But it all comes together pretty easy. It all looks good, all fits good, and somebody gets a, what would this be? This would be a 9750. That's what I would call it, because it's a 97 Dakota 1950 Dodge cab, so it'd be a 9750 or 5097, either way you want to look at it. But on this, I'll also show you real quick. The Dodge Dakota we got this off of was an extended cab. This truck is like 108 inches. Well, we got to cut like 24 inches out of there. I think it's like 22, but it's a lot. We're gonna have to move the carrier bearing and stuff, or get a solid drive shaft. We have to fix the exhaust. Yeah, actually, we have mufflers over here that were sent for it. So we'll probably actually have to take it and have exhaust put on it, because we don't have any kind of manual bender or anything, and he wants dual mufflers. So, I mean, how it should have been, if we would have thought about it, it should have been a single into 2 outlets, and you could have just went straight back over. Done. Instead, now we got 2 Flowmasters, and you can't really put duals on here. Done explained why. So anyway, let's get to welding.